Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those other beings from other planets. Welcome to another night of Cup car racing. A little bit different tonight. We are at Road America, and tonight I am joined in the booth by none other than Matt Hunter. Good evening, Matt. How are you?
Evening, Mark. I'm good.
Yep, that's good, mate. We'll get your thoughts on this in a minute. And we are also joined tonight, then none other than the pilot of car number 13, Hamish Gallagher. Good evening, Hamish, and welcome.
Hey Matt, Matt and Mark, how you guys doing?
Good, mate. Good. So not out there tonight, mate. Having a rest from the Cup cars.
Yeah, that's right. To see how these boys do tackle this tricky road course here, Road America.
Yeah, it is a bit of a tricky one, and it's 14 turns for just over 4 miles or 6.5 kilometres. So I know myself. I had a couple of laps around here with my teammate from the Warriors, Brad Allison, and we both struggled here. So many corners that are not very friendly.
You know, she's a big old track. There's a lot going on. You got everything. You got big, fast, sweeping corners. You got tight technical stuff. You got long straights of tight hairpins at the end of them. So it's a bit of a challenge. So I'm sure we're going to see a few people come to grief tonight. But yeah, we'll see how everyone gets on.
Some talking points. I think that probably one of the hardest is turn 5. Downhill, hard on the brakes, and I know I was going through there in back to first gear, just to get the car turned into that turn and get a good drive back up the hill to turn 6.
Yeah, she's probably one of the best passing spots. You're going to see people sort of diving in as hard as you can. It's just the very next one after that's almost as hard. Like you go up a little hill under the bridge and you can't really see the corner. It's unsighted. That's an easy one to come off there as well. You've also got the kink out the back. if you just go off the edge of the track on the through there and touch the grass, you're probably going to have a big spin and smack the wall. So there's lots of places to come to grief. So no doubt someone's going to find their way into a wall at some place tonight. And with the new damage model they've got, and the fact that you can rip wheels off and break your steering arms and stuff like that, you've hit a wall with any sort of speed, it might be a race over.
Yeah, definitely. The other interesting point is the carousel. It's kind of sort of not a straight turn around to the right. It's kind of a double apex carousel. So it's going to be interesting in there too.
Yeah, see, people have different lines. Some people hug the inside. Some people, as you say, will have multiple apexes. You sort of get in the throttle and you back out of it, back in again. So it's so every corner on this track's got its own little challenge, which is sort of what makes it either you love it or you absolutely hate it. But we've got a decent field out of here, so that's cool to see people giving it a shot. Be also interesting to see what people do with tyres. I know at the Sonoma, sounds like people didn't change tyres; they just ran the set the whole race. So be interesting to see if that was a Sonoma thing or if it's a next gen car thing. If they do the same thing again tonight.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we know Mr. Hobson and Mr. Dyson's going to be the ones to watch. Who else is your money on tonight, Hamish?
I don't know if I'd say got my money on it, but once again, I've got my Mirko watch going. He did another great job in quali. Well, Mirko starting off P12, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on Mirko again tonight, see if he can keep it up there like he did, just like he did at whatchamacallit, Gateway.
Gateway, yep. All right, so I'm not sure. Have we? Yep, we have. So front row is shared by none other than Brenton Hobson and Andrew Dyson.
Yeah, and then after that you got Pearson and Foster, second row.
That'll be an interesting row. He's going Hedderscheid and Lob.
And then you got Kai Turner and Tom Freer starting for SSR.
Then Josh Mickelmore, Luke Trainer.
Trahere.
Yep. Sorry, yep.
Yeah, that'll be another good another little battle there. Trahere's always strong on the road courses, and Josh, he's been working on the stuff. He's been getting better. After that, you've got Tristan Koch and Mirko.
Yeah, Ruben Phelps, Tom Pritchard. There are two guys to watch also.
Yeah, and then you're back there. You've got Matty Ray, who was really strong in the Xfinity car here just last week. So and he's got Corby Jordan beside him. So it'll be interesting to see how Matty does again tonight.
Row 9, Gary Willman, Jamie Nankervis.
Yeah, and then you got Paul Jackson, Stephen Williams.
Michael Skurlock and Jason Martin.
Yeah, Skirley way back there. That'll be unusual. So it'll be interesting to watch him, see if he can make his way through the field tonight.
I think we're about to go green, so
we're green, and we are on the green now. So this will be interesting to see what happens here in the turn one, the right-hander. Everyone looks like they're behaving themselves further back in the field. So, 408. We've got one in the wall, and he's been collected by Phelps.
Yeah, Phelps has smacked him. So that's drama straight off the bat.
Yep.
That's going to drop Phelps all the way back.
Yep.
Just let things settle in a little bit, and we might try and grab a replay of that.
This is the turn we were talking about. Downhill, hard on the brakes to the left, then up. Got to run that wide, but you've got to be careful you don't get out over that ripple strip because it will turn you. And this is what you were talking about, Hamish, up over the hill to a blind left-hander.
It's very slow and it's sort of off camber, so it's easy to send there. Edwards fighting it here. He's got Pearson all over him. He's sliding it. He'll be looking in his mirrors.
Then down a slight downhill again to a left-hander. Then we're into the carousel for the first time. Nice sweeping right-hander, double apex, and you can see some of the guys holding that inside line, and most of them there running that mid-track.
Yeah, sure thing.
Down through the kink.
Yeah, well, Headshot had a nice little slide through there, as they're saying. It's very dangerous through there.
We won't get the full course yellows here like we normally do on the oval. It'll be a localised yellow, so the guys have to be careful not to overtake in those local cautions.
Yeah, that pretty much takes all the strategy out of it. So it's just a matter of keeping your car on the track if you want to have a good result.
Oh, Dave Douglas there in the wall.
Oh, boy. Let's see if we can find out what's going on there. Okay, quite a few incidents getting triggered by the sessions events, so let's try and pick one and have a look and see.
Yep, Dave looks like he's in the pits, so he's done and dusted.
It's Raymond here. Just see if we can grab Dave.
Oh yeah, there was a big off at the last corner.
I think he's been trying to move it and it's damaged.
Yeah, the last corner there, he's just gone off and he's actually hit, I think it's Paul Jackson, or he's already off there, and it's like Norman Clark was off, Jason Martin was off. So he smacked into Paul Jackson. I think that's ripped a rear toe link out, and so he's done.
He can't drive. Can't get any drive in it.
So we got Kobe Jordan in the pits. Dave Douglas, he's actually up on the jacks now, and Nobby Tompkins also with a lot of front end damage on the front end, and Ruben's just come into the pits, and that left front is not looking healthy.
No, there's been a lot going on. I'm trying to work it all out, what we should be looking at, because there was so much going on.
Exactly, there's chaos for a first lap. Here we're going to say everyone's just going to take it nice and careful and easy, settle in for this long race, and then just gone out and just wrecked into everything.
And you're trying to look at one car, and in the background you see other cars spinning, and So I'm trying to look at here what happened to Kai Turner on the first corner. Oh, yeah, that's his one there. Oh, he only bounced out and got Ruben.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. He sort of centred a bit there and got loose on exit. And Ruben's just the wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately, for Phelpsy.
Let's have a look at another one here. No, doesn't look right. Anyway, we might go back to actual live action and catch up with the leaders, because Dyson's right on the tail of Hobson here. Let's have a look at their last lap times. So Dyson was just a little bit faster in that last lap. Let's allow them to close up the gap.
Just going to say, Trahere's gone off at turn 2. He's in the grass all everywhere. But he looks like he's still okay. But yeah, sorry, we'll get back to the front. There is a race for the lead going on.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, Dyson's putting the big pressure on Hobzo right now. Hobbo's, oh, he's sliding the thing.
Yeah. So this is what happened to Luke here. He looks like he's come up to the last corner. Oh, I just missed the corner. So that was Luke out in the weeds.
I can tell you what, you don't want to get on the gas out there because it just turns you around.
Oh, there's been so much going on, trying to work out what to keep an eye on and settle in.
That's great. Meanwhile, we got the battle for the lead, and then Pearson's managed to get past Foster, so he's got up to third. Foster fourth, and Tom Freer's come through the field, sitting up in fifth from starting 8th, so a good start for him. Headshire, they're in 6th. Lob in 7th. Micklemore's up to 8th, now he's got past here, with Tristan sitting in 10th.
Wow.
9th, sorry, that's a good job there for
Good
Tristan.
run for Tristan, yeah.
And my man, Mirko, he's in top 10, yeah boy, come on. Matty Ray's just going to get a spot here on Tom Pritchard's just gone wide there at Canada corner, just like you were saying there, Mark. It's a tricky spot.
It doesn't look hard, but it's I don't know. It's just slightly off camber, and when you turn into there, and it just unsettles the car.
Yeah, just look at that here. We've got Skirley. He's started deep in the field tonight in 21st. He's up to 15th. So that's a pretty good start. Or he's coming under attack here from Stevie Dub. Stevie Dub's showing the nose, but it looks like he's going to back out of it. So it looks like his car's clean. So that's, considering how much drama we had at the start here, that's a win in itself.
Well, Tristan, we
put
the mocker on Tristan.
Curse, yeah.
Oh, what'd you do to Tristan? Let's have a look and see if we can work out what happened there.
I think he just ran wide, got off on the edge.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. He's coming down here to turn 1, is it?
Turn 1.
Oh, see, he locked the right front. Yeah. There's a good replay. You can see exactly that right front wheel locking up.
Yeah, that seems to be quite common in these cars. The brakes are a bit tricky when they're cold, so we'll see if that continues once they get warmed up.
We've just had Tom Pritchard get past Matty Raymond, and now Skirley's all over the back of Matty Raymond.
I'll check up the tower just so you can keep an eye on the gaps a bit closer.
Quite a nice little pack here. Got all the way back from Pritchard. Go all the way back to Barry Neal. It's all on a nice little line there.
Sorry, I was just having a drink of my nice crisp lemonade. Let's have a little look here with Skirlock's looking to make the move on Matty Raymond, and he's going to go to the inside at Canada corner. Matty Raymond's not going to put up too much fight early on the race. And Steve,
is he going to put up? He's going to put up a fight here though. Come on, Matty. Yeah, I'm loving this new aggressive Matty Ray. He was really good here in the Xfinity car. He was spent a few laps running behind him, and he was. I've never seen him drive as aggressive as he does. He's always so conservative and looking after the car. So that was great. So, good job there, Matt. There's the fend off Stevie Dub. But yeah, Skilly on the march here now.
Just looking at the timing, Andrew Dyson has set the fastest lap of the race. I know we're only on lap 5, but he's done a 2:09.7, and Mr. Hobson has done a 2:10. So a little bit quicker. Neil Pearson's a 2:10.1. Ed Foster is a 2:11. So everyone from fourth down is in the high 2:11s, 2:12s, and then 2:14s and 13s.
Yeah, just see old Tom Frears just went off at the bottom of the hill there. He's come on just in front of Lob and Petershire. That's a nice little battle pack. Here comes Lob. He's going to send it down the inside. Oh, is he going to make this one move? Yeah, Tom Frears going to fight it. Can he hold on the outside there? Oh, there's a little bit of contact. They're in the carousel side by side. This is great racing. Oh, there's another little touch and another one. Petershire's just trying to stay back out of this one. He doesn't like the look of this. This is dangerous.
He'll just say,
Neither one of these guys are going to give an inch.
You cannot get two cars through here too wide.
That's some big boy racing there.
Yeah, that was fantastic to watch.
I know Daniel will be sitting back there, just waiting for these two to make a mistake, and he'll pick up 2 spots.
Exactly. Now he's all over Lob now. He's looking super aggressive. Nice little battle pack.
Let's see what kind of run Daniel can get out of the last corner onto the big straight.
Keeping a close eye on Skirley as well. He's caught up with Tom Pritchard, so that's going to be his next one on his list to get himself in the top 10. Then he's got quite a lot. It's going to be hard work after that. She's some pretty big gaps.
Yeah, just having a little look here. Just try and work out. Yeah, Skilllock's already 27 seconds behind the leaders there.
Yeah, there's some real big gaps. First to second is half a second. Then from second to third, you got 3 seconds, and then third back to fourth, you got another 3 seconds. So I think we're just going to have to play the waiting game and see whose tyres go off first and who's going to dive in the pits for some fresh rubber.
Speaking of the pits, I see there's one car very ominously is parked up there, the 62 of Mirko. He's gone straight on at the corner just before the carousel and nosed into the wall, and he's decided to park it up. So that run is done for Mirko, unfortunately. They just touched the grass on the outside on the braking, and that's just got the car loose. And it's so easy to do here. There's very little room for error. It's not like a place where there's big curbs and things like that. You know, if you take a small little mistake, it hurts you.
And what I found this afternoon running around, having a run around here, the cars just don't. The gravel traps aren't like a lot of other gravel traps around the world, like with the V8s or anything. These things just seem to bounce over the top of these gravel traps here, and you'll find yourself picking up speed and finding a tyre wall looking at you.
Yeah, it's almost like it's rained the day before, and the grass is just all super slick. If anyone's watched like the races at Winton back in the day, when you go off into the grass and you just get bogged out, the car just slides and you're basically out of control. So you definitely don't want to get off. If you go off into the grass, your race is very much done, as we've seen with quite a few people already. The attrition rate has been extremely high here for a road course race, that's for sure.
Definitely. There's nothing wrong. Start again. There's nothing wrong with Lake Winton. That used to be a great place to go sailing.
Just looking at old Stevie Williams. He's looking up the inside here of Matty Ray in the turn 1. You think he's going to get this job done? That's a really good job there from Stephen. Matty Ray very smartly did not contest that one.
It's quite interesting to see how red those discs are under brakes there. It's not even that dark out there. You can see them pretty well.
Well, we don't need to talk about dark doing that.
No. They might have been handy last night.
Yeah, no,
nothing,
best race ever last night. Back to normal today.
nothing like driving by rail.
That's right. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week. What with the truck race on the dirt on Monday, and then obviously an old hot lanner there in the dark. But yeah, it's been a good fun week in ANZCAR. I see Skirley hasn't really skipped away at all in this little battle pack. He sort of got past Tom, and then he sort of held there. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah, and I think he's not really like he's probably losing time to Chihira in ninth place ahead of him. That the last lap around it was 2 seconds a lap slower, but he might have been dealing with a bit of traffic in that lap.
Yeah, it looks like pretty much everyone's running their fastest laps like right now,
Yeah.
which looks like a lot like Sonoma, where the car is going to get faster and faster. So we may not see anyone taking tyres.
No, I think it will be a few only. Again, will probably just be a splash and dash, and everyone will keep the same set of tyres.
Which is bizarre. If anyone has driven the old Cup car on the road courses, you wanted tyres after about 3 laps.
Yep, with the Gen 6, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So whatever they did in the season 3 update has changed something for sure in this car.
Oh, Skirley had a lock up there, and he's drifted wide into through the sand.
He's done well to keep it off that wall.
He's going to lose about 4, maybe 5 spots out of that.
Yeah. As you say, just one tiny wee mistake and it costs you so much.
Let's see if we can have a little look at that and slow it down a bit.
Meanwhile, we've got Gary Wellman's going to make a move on Tristan Koch while we watch Skirley.
So just have a look and see if we can see if he locked the wheel. Not sure if the camera angle will let us know. But you can see here he's just sort of drifted out wide. Car's
It's got a bit of a push there.
Bit of a lock up, I think, a bit of smoke, and then it's just pushed him wide, and he's carried too much speed into the corner and had to just let it go out onto the grass to save it.
The way the car gets faster and faster a run, it's almost like, you just kind of keep pushing harder and harder. It's complete opposite what you normally do, where you just try and nurse the old Cup car. So it makes it probably a lot more easier to make a mistake in this thing because you're just trying to push all the time, like quali lap after quali lap.
Yeah, I mean the lap times at the front have not dropped off. If we chuck up the information where we can see the last lap for Hobson's a 210.190 and his fastest lap's a 210.023, so he's pretty much right on the same lap pace as his fastest lap of the race. So look for that'll get faster as the fuel burns off and the car gets lighter, and the tyres clearly don't look like they're going to drop off.
Yeah, we probably haven't talked much about these front two, but these guys will be going absolutely hammer and tong. Like, this will just be Q lap after Q lap for these guys. They'll be on the limit. Yeah, it doesn't look like it perhaps, but like when you're in the car and you're just on the edge like this is just like they'll be sweating right now.
Neil Pearson's brought that gap down. It was out to 6 seconds, but it's now down to 4 seconds behind ISO. So Neil's actually on a hard charge too.
Yeah, a little bit further behind them, Tom Free. I think he was starting the gap, Lob and Heddershire, but he made yet another mistake. It sort of dragged him sort of back into that same little pack. So they're sort of back to a little free car pack. And meanwhile, Stevie Williams is... Oh, he's just lost it. And Pritchard. Turn 1, the DB Dub's gone in real deep, and it sort of lured Pritchard into it as well, and they've both just gone off. Like just about to give him some good raps. He was looking really good, and then straight away makes a bit of an error. But he's survived, and no damage, and he's back into it.
Oh, they both locked up. That's curious.
You
have a look here. They didn't make any contact, but Steve...
Yeah, I think Stephen was looking at the position. Tom thought, I'm just going to, try and be the last of the late breakers, and they've just both sort of just snookered themselves. Think, so that guy can go that fast, I'm going to go that fast.
Steve's gone there, and then Tom's still about to go, just carrying way too much speed, brake too deep.
So what? Stevie Dub's done well to keep it close to the track there. without going further into the gravel trap.
I think the
Yeah.
ironic thing out of that is he's actually made the pass after all of that. He passed Tom, but they both dropped positions.
Yeah, I got the job done.
He
You
got the
wanted me to
job
pass
done.
him, I did it.
Yep. He ended up passing Tom, but unfortunately lost maybe a couple of spots in the process. Oh, he drops a wheel off the track there again.
Yeah, he went for the rally shortcut.
He's doing pretty good though. He's on the just on the outside of the top 10. It's a good strong run for him.
Got a nice little battle pack here in around the 15th area. You got Barry Neal, you got Gary Wellman, just going to send it up the inside of Barry. And you've also got Tom Pritchard coming on the back on the attack. Oh, just got into him. He's already had an off this lap. That's not going to, hasn't slowed him down at all. He's straight back into it. And you got Tristan just behind them as well, having a good run. And Norman, running the top 10 there. Nice little solid run there for Storman.
Gentleman racer Norman.
That's right.
Just watch this battle onto the into turn 1. Barry on Gary. Barry trying to looking on the inside, but he's not gonna send it in there. Gary's done a pretty good job there. Oh, Stevie Williams looks like he's had a bit of an off again.
Looks like he's got some damage to that right rear now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's looks like it's got a bit of an issue.
Yeah, no, he almost went wide there again as well. It looks like he must have taken the hit there at some point.
He's come around there.
Oh, yeah, he's got into the grass at the end of turn 1. He's gone and smacked the inside wall.
And with the new... Oh, look at that front wheel. Yeah, that right front wheel. Oh, it did repair itself a little bit.
Oh. Yeah, he's still trying, but he's just gone straight on at the bottom of the hill there. I think that's going to be day done for Stephen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that right front wheel is a bit terminal.
That's this new damage model. We get a tiny little damage in this independent rear suspension.
Yeah, that's done.
that front wheel, he's just trying to nurse it around really, and he'll have to be careful with the incident cap. He might get a DQ. He's up to 11 incidents, so if he gets one more, which will probably be that one there, so he's probably, he's towed it. He's made the decision to tow it. Yeah, that right front was completely broken off.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. He was having such a good race. But as
I'll
you
tell you
said,
what,
it's so easy to make a mistake here, and it's
tell
such
you
a
what,
high price to
guys,
pay.
that front Dyson is now all over the back of Hobson at the front.
Yep, those guys still going for it, hammer and tong. Be interesting to see if they play some sort of strategy. If they don't take tyres, do you try and stretch the fuel, take slightly less fuel so you can jump a guy on the stop? Or you just pit a bit earlier and then try and undercut him?
You're going to have to take something like that. I know from the past that I think Andrew, a similar race, I think here last year actually in the Thunder Series, Andrew mentioned that, that he had the same speed, but he just didn't have enough to get past them, and it might be the case again tonight. They might be so evenly matched on speed that it just doesn't have that little bit extra needed to try and get a pass done.
Yeah, that's right. You got another little battle pack forming. Drahir's been steadily catching up to the Joshy Mickelmore, so he's all over him now. So you'll be looking for a pass in the near future, I think. Or as I just say that and he goes off.
Man, you are on fire tonight with the commentary curse.
Oh, Carl, eat your heart out, mate. I'm the king of the
You are
commentary
on
curse
fire. If we get a bit quiet, I'll get you to just pick a random name and we'll jump there and have a look, and they might have a bit of trouble.
I was going to say, anyone you don't like, maybe I'll talk about them for a bit.
Oh, I like them all. I'm not sure they all like me after last night, but yeah. So let's jump back up to the front there with Dyson. Actually, we'll jump on board with Andrew Dyson for a lap. A lap right behind Brenton Hobson. He's going to have a little bit of a look there on the inside. I should bring up my list of corner names. turn 3. They're going to turn 3 now. There's a little kink up here, and that's turn 4, and that goes on to the moraine sweep. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Don't quote me on that.
That's America for you. Like a little slight kink is a turn somehow. We'd call that a straight. That's all right.
Okay, and down into turn 5 there. Little blast here into turn 6 underneath the Corvette bridge.
That's
Dawson,
just, it
turn
seems
7.
like it's just settled again now.
This is the Hurry Downs straight here. Turn 8 to the left. And to turn 9, and then yeah, carousel, which is 9 and 10. I hate this carousel. It's I just cannot drive it.
just goes forever, doesn't it?
It does. And through the bend, through the kink. That's just turn 11. These are the kettle bottoms. This is what they're called. And this right-hander come out will be turn 12 and counter the corner. Go through Thunder Valley.
I love this part of the track. It's so fun.
This one here's the turn 13 Bill Mitchell Bend. And then we come up to turn 14, which will take us back onto the Road America Straight. And
yeah, it's so fun that last bit, eh, Matty? Yeah, it's like you're up and down, you're back and forward, it's high speed, it's the bumps. It's one of my favourite parts of the track right at the end there. But just looking at the car that lap there, like Dyson definitely I think is probably a little bit strong than Hobbo at the moment.
Yeah.
It is always a wee bit probably easier to be the hunter rather than being hunted. Like, you know, obviously Hobbo will be looking in his mirrors and whatnot. But yeah, I'd say Dyson's probably got a bit of an edge at the moment. But these are two guys are very good on the road courses, very evenly matched, and it's great to see them applying their trade here.
They race each other a lot and respect each other's quite well, and yeah, you see some good racing between them.
Tell you what, that battle down in 15th is heated up again. It's back into a 4-car battle.
So
yeah, Skilly hasn't quite managed to skip away again. He's still somehow in a giant battle pack.
He might have had an incident. Skilly looks like he's struggling, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just over the race radio. I heard him say the brakes are gone, so he's in the pit lane.
Yeah. So he's in pit lane, lap 18, which he might be able to make it home from here on fuel.
Just watching the
should be able to, isn't it?
Tires.
It's only a
30 lap race.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, it's triggered over to 18 laps to go, so it was confusing me.
So if that's the case, then you have to keep an eye on the front too to see if someone blinks.
Yeah. So he's definitely getting left sides and right sides as well.
Right.
I mean, that's interesting. You look at the front two. They literally did their Hobbo did his fastest lap last lap, so he's definitely still speeding it. So he's taking tyres. That's an interesting move.
Skerlock's still sitting there with his pit stop, so I don't know if he's got a penalty or anything.
He's
no. Maybe he might have had a bit of damage to repair. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to remember, isn't it? He's sort of been into a bunch of battles, Skirly. You might have run into someone at some point, yeah.
Just having a look. I think Gary Wellman's pitted, has he?
I think he's still out there. He's in that big paddle pack with him, Barry Neal, Richard, and Tristan.
The camera wouldn't change over. There we go. So yeah, this group of 4 cars has been running together pretty much all race.
Gilly's lost the lap through that. He's come out just in front of the leaders and he's just pulled over. So that's how far he's managed to drop down. It's quite a big track here, so normally you don't lose a lap when a pit stop. So it's been a tough race for old Skirly. Meanwhile, Trahir's managed to catch back up to Mickelmore, so he can give this maybe shot number 2, trying to get past Joshy. Oh, Josh is squirrely under brakes there. Just managed to pull it up. It was Speedway spec there. He was backing into the corner. So he's pushing hard. Looking at his last time, he's still running low to mid 12s. So he's still got speed in that car. So I'll be surprised to see if any of these other guys take tyres here. Estra here. Oh, he's almost drilled him.
Good evasive action there.
Yeah, good save there from Luke. Good frame of mind there to get off the brake and manoeuvre around him there and not cause a big accident. But he's definitely got speed there. He's just got to get everything in order. No, you'll get that pass done.
You see the massive difference in speed there as I came down under the brakes.
Yeah, we got another taker in the pit lane. We've got Storm and Normans bringing it in. So presumably, yeah, as you're saying, Matt, they must be able to make it from home here on fuel. You got people sort of like doing it the reverse strat, just as soon as you get in your pit window. It's almost like the old V8s here, isn't it? It's quite unusual for NASCAR.
Norman's front bumpers hanging off there. He's obviously had a bit of incident.
Oh, and he's missed his
pit as well. He's getting tyres, I believe. Yep.
Lefts.
That front brake road is still pretty hot there.
The thing you've got to be careful now is you come out on cold tyres, so you're back to square one, and it becomes very slippery again.
It does indeed.
Yeah, so he just went off for the last corner there, unfortunately. Maybe he decided we'll just go straight back into the pit lane there and get that thing fixed up.
These two, still neck and neck at the front there. And getting faster and faster.
Yeah, they're both in the in the 209s, mid 209.6s, both of them. So, and Neil Pearson's last lap was a 2:10.
Yeah, considering I believe they were in the 10s and quali, to see the race speed to be significantly faster is quite interesting. Oh, looks like Heddershire's had a bit of a moment there, just coming into hurry downs. I believe that's what you called it, Matt.
Yep. This is carousel now, isn't it?
Just before the carousel, yeah.
I do like that hurry downs, but that is pretty cool. Where you come out of that right hander and it's a straight and it comes down into that big left hander or the tight left hander.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in these cars, you've got to sort of use a little bit of brake, a little bit, and you've got to sort of massage the throttle in that corner beforehand. It sort of makes it quite fun as you then head downhill.
Yeah. I was just gonna explain. It's that corner there was called the kink. The reason being is it's the bike circuit runs to the left there and comes back around to the right and back onto the track. So that's where they get the kink from.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to go through that corner. In that configuration, wouldn't you?
No.
Scary.
The other night, when the Fun Series race was here, we on the opening lap I went around the carousel and I ended up drifting. I lost control of the car basically, and I was drifting around the corner trying to get control of it. And at that point, Andrew Dyson was behind me and thought I was doing a drift on purpose. I had to tell him he said it was a pretty sick looking drift. It was pretty good, but I had to tell him it wasn't on purpose.
You should have just claimed it, Matt. She said, yeah, no, I've been practicing that.
Yes, no, I really don't like that carousel.
So, who's up for a bit of lost the word.
Trivia.
So, a sign on the outside of turn 5 proudly declares the facility as America's National Park of Speed. and it's been unchanged since the layout's largely unchanged since the mid 1950s. It holds a full calendar each year, with the highlights, of course, being the IndyCar Series, NASCAR Cup, Xfinity Series, IMSA Sports Car, Moto America, and GT World Challenge America. The track actually started off as a 3.35 mile course back in the early 40s. I'm just trying to find some more info.
Yeah, it's a very historic course. That's one of the reasons I think it's quite cool how it's so unchanged. It's almost like a Bathurst or a Pukekohe like we have in New Zealand here. It's very old school in how it drives, which is why it's which is quite different in what we have compared to most road courses these days. You definitely wouldn't build a track like this in the modern times. So it looks like Eddie Foster's coming to the pit lane. So he's one of the first of the front runners to pit.
Fuel only for everybody there by the looks of it.
Yeah.
12
Stevie
seconds in the
Dub's
box, though.
done the opposite and he's come back out. Must have got his damage repaired and he's on the side. He's going to try and soldier on.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that there's a few cars battling along quite a number of laps down. Still in the hunt. Obviously, Stephen Williams 6 laps off the lead. So they've managed to fix that right front tyre. Yep, looks good. Ruben Phelps is out there. He's 6 laps down. So Ruben and Stephen Williams will be battling for position. Noddy Tompkins 7 laps down. He's still out there circulating. Kobe Jordan is 9 laps down. In 25th spot. So he's still circulating as well. And Mirko's sitting in the pits. Retirement so far: Dave Douglas, Kai Turner, and Raymond Yeager.
we got some fun and games at the front there. Just Hobbo sort of did a bit of a fake out going on the pit lane. See if so. Gonna be an interesting straight here as they come out. Just a bit of traffic right here as Dyson's going to send it.
This is close.
They gave him some room. They got lap traffic as well. This is dangerous. Can he capitalise here and make this pass finally? Oh, there's a bit of touch. He's not going to give it up easy here. Oh, he's still there. He's got the inside for the next corner.
Yeah, if he can just keep the car there. He'll have the rights to the corner.
He's got more lap traffic up ahead as well. They're going to play a factor in this. They're catching rapidly. Side by side. Oh, this is great racing.
This is going to be... Oh, no.
Dyson likes it up. He's going to be on the inside again here, Hobbo. As they catch right up to Tom Pritchard, right ahead of him. And he's going to have to back out of it here. What a great battle, though.
It's not over yet.
They got to get past this lapper here. Oh, Tom's not going to give it up easy. Oh, this is crazy stuff. Those survivors were all over him here, applying the blowtorch.
I wonder if one of them is going to peel off into the pits this lap around.
Yeah, you got to think that you'd be faster just running by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're having a lot of fun though in this battle.
If you get into the pits and get back out and get a little bit of clear air and lay down a quick lap, that might be enough to get you the win. It's a fascinating battle. It's just sit and watch though.
Exactly. You see Dyson just lit it up there coming out of Canada corner. Had the black marks on the road. He's all over him. Giving him a little bit of touch. He's giving him a bump.
Here we go. Who's going in? Oh, they're both going in at the same time. So better make sure they don't speed.
Yeah, it's a tough pit lane to get into, isn't it? You can't see where the yellow cone is. Such a high entry speed.
I do say this is probably going to decide the race here, this pit stop. Whoever hits the mark well and then comes back out.
This is a precious stop. You got to be absolutely perfect.
Here we go. Looks
No
like
tyres.
No tyres, fuel only.
There's someone run it light on fuel here to jump. There goes Dyson. Yep, and he's
Dyson's going to get it. Yep. So the difference in pit box time there is Dyson's pit box time was 11.9 seconds and Hobson's was 12.6. And that's just enough for Dyson to be able to jump out in front.
You don't even know. Is that just the time in the box? That isn't the entry either. So that's just
no, that's just that's just the time that they were sitting still, and the time in the lane. The difference is 43 seconds for Dyson and 43.5 for Hobson, so half a second, which is pretty much just about that stationary time.
Yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. I see Skirley's had another bit of an off. His tormented night continues. He's just gone off at the bottom of the hill there. Just done a little bit of a burn up to get those red tyres up to temp, and he's heading on his way again.
He's not having a very happy night. No.
Normally, that's a bit surprising. He's usually pretty good on the road courses, but for whatever reason, he's just not liking this car or this track or whatever.
In
He's
terms
going
of
to go another lap down here, 2 laps down for Skirley.
In terms of our pit stops, top 6 have all made their pit stop. First car to not have made their pit stop is Jason Martin in 7th. And the next one would be Jamie Nankervis in 12th.
Jamie's in the pits now.
And that would be it. That's the last of the pit stoppers, yeah.
What happened to Trahir? He's like 40 seconds behind Micklemore now.
Yeah.
He used to be battling him. They're both pitted, you saying?
Yep, so Trahir's pit stop was a 14.8 and Josh's was 11.9, so 10 seconds difference on pit road. 43.7 through the lane for Micklemore and 53.4 for Trahir, so best part of, pretty much bang on 10 seconds.
He had the same issue I had. He's gone too far right, so he's too close to the pit wall. He's had to back up and put it back in. I did the same thing in the Xfinity car.
Yeah.
Which is, I've never had that before, but it's obviously quite hard to do because that pit wall sort of doesn't stand out at all. And plus, it's still the wrong side. You're used to, being on the other side of the car.
Just watching in pit lane, it looks like Stevie Dubb may get back out. He's just gone up onto the jacks there, so we'll see if he comes back out.
Has he had another incident? So he was running around a few laps ago. So,
So you got one of our last stoppers, old Martin. He's peeled it in finally, so they must be getting close on fuel. But yeah, you're right. Stephen Williams, he had come back out, so maybe he's had another off, or the damage was just too great, and he's just parked.
By the look of it, he's been in the pit lane now for over 3 minutes, so
the damage might be affecting the way the car drives, so he might be just wanting to get that done or parking it for the night.
So I found some times, boys. So who do you think holds the lap record for the Cup cars?
Cup car. It'd be from last year, I guess. There's only done one race, is that right? Or there's no race here in the past.
Chase Elliott.
No, William Byron.
Willie.
With a 2:14.089. So that wasn't a bad one. Of course, in a Chev. The Xfinity car is a 2:14.6. Christopher Bell in a Toyota.
Oh, I would have picked AJ for that.
And in the Indy car, that's held a long-standing record. That. So who do you think's in the Indy car?
Rick Mears.
Right.
Nope.
Give it. What's a time frame? 90s?
Yeah.
2017.
Oh, that's not far long ago then, isn't it?
2017. Oh, I want to. I don't know if it's bad taste to say it or not.
Go on, say it.
Well, Robert Wickens was pretty quick around that time. I think that was the
Nope.
time. Was that the year that he had his big crash?
No, wasn't him.
Who was it?
Joseph Newgarden.
Oh, Newgarden. And a
One
Penske.
point, 143.4 in the 2017 Grand Prix.
Well, looks like the old Nan Curvis has had now a little off, so they're still battling out there, struggling to keep his knees, struggling to bring this thing back on. Yeah, when you get into that grass, it's hard to get it back on the track. There's just no grip out there on these cars. They're still fighting. They're going to be to the last lap.
So, Hamish, you said this is a little bit like a Bathurst, and I can tell you it definitely is. On August the 3rd, 2006, Cristiano Di Matta, a driver of a champ car, actually ran into a deer.
Jesus.
So the deer jumped out in front of him, hit his right front tyre, and it come back and hit Di Matta in the cockpit. So yeah. Luckily he got away with with only a sore head.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to hit anything like that in an open wheel car, would you?
No.
No.
Yeah, you are out here in the forest, aren't you? So I guess the wildlife are out there, just like just like other tracks.
You know, I've been having a look at the timing data here. There's a few lonely drivers out there. Eh? Like Neil Pearson's, he's got 11 seconds to the front and 10 or 20 seconds to the car behind him.
Winnie, yeah.
So he's just out there running laps, like probably not seeing anybody at all. Ed Foster, yeah, he's got 21 seconds to Pearson in front and about 5.5 seconds to the car behind him. So he's out running on his own as well. Darren Lobb is 5.5 to the front and then 11 seconds to the back. Although he's got a bit of traffic around there. So yeah, the field is very spread out.
As well, that pit stop mistake's been costly for him. He's got 12 seconds to Micklemore, and then he's got 15 to the car behind him. So he's having a very lonely race now. What had looked him being very promising, out for a couple of small mistakes there, unfortunately for Lukey. Meanwhile, up front, they're still kind of pretty close. Like, Dyson's got a slightly bigger gap than he had when he was following Hobbo, but Hobbo's not exactly dropped off. So still got a fight. But I think he's going to have to rely on Dyson making a small mistake if he's going to get this win.
Yeah, and they're getting faster and faster as well.
Into the 8s now, I see.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking at my data and it's a little bit confusing. Yeah, so his last lap was a 208.951, but it's only saying that the fast lap is a 209, so that's what's confusing me.
I think that's the lap he's on at the moment, so that should tick over, change when he crosses the finish line here.
But he's definitely turning the heat up and putting the speed in. Yeah, there we are. Yep, that's right. It's just the way that the data's done.
There's nothing between these two. Like
no, it's so close. Like I don't think even if Hobson can get back on the back of Dyson, I don't think he will have enough to get past because they're so evenly matched. I mean, they're both into the 208s now.
Yep, just as I was saying earlier, it's just a qualifying lap after qualifying lap. There's just no rest. Just on the limit the entire race for these two. It's been hard work for them. It's just a long lap. So even just 30 laps around here, it's a lot of work.
Just have a look at some battles through the field.
There you go. Pritchard and Tristan are fairly close
Yep.
together.
Yeah, Jason Martin and Matty Ray.
Just trying to see that. There we go. Yeah, Jason Martin's trying to pass Matty Ray for a top 10 position. Matthew Raymond in 10th for the moment. I think if Jason could pick up a top 10, he'd be pretty happy. I think he's not the biggest fan of road courses.
No. Yeah, he did remark last night that he tried a few laps. He got about 4 laps in, and then that was it for him. He didn't want to do any more of that. But yeah, no, a top 10 for him and for Matty would both be good results for both of those drivers.
Now, I'm just wondering, with all the trouble that everybody else has had of running off the track and stuff, that I'm just wondering if I can put out the comment there that they drive better in the dark when they can't.
Yeah, we had a lot less incidents last night.
Yeah,
Oh.
they got bright sunshine today, and they're running off the track. In the dark, they
Exactly.
were
Yeah.
You see Matty Raymond take that big wide line there.
Hobson's closed right back up on the back now of Daiso, so it's down to 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, let's see how that was.
And as I say that, Daiso stretches his legs down the straight.
Yeah, so difference in lap time, that last lap was about 0.3 of a second, I think. So that's
They got a bit
about
of traffic
0.4,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they manoeuvre through this traffic, because it's quite a nice little battle going on just ahead of them. And it is for 2 of them for position. Norman's just getting out of the way, but you got Gary and Schultze.
Oh, 3 cars in a row.
If Hobbo wants a chance here, this is definitely going to be it. As he gives Dyson a little tap. They're playing for keeps. Going to sneak past Norman here in the carousel.
Norman does well to stay out of the way.
Now, this might be a bit harder than these next two, because they're fighting for position.
Oh.
And Schultz and Wellman, the Sim boys, never known for giving it too easy.
No, and they don't have to make it easy for you. So
exactly, yeah, that's what we're here for. Have a bit of fun, hard racing. But Hobbo's just made a small mistake, and he sort of dropped off the back there. That might give Dyson all he needs to manoeuvre through here safely.
The other thing I need to watch out for as well is that Aiden might be so focused on the battle in front, he might not realise that they're right behind him. Although he's done a pretty good job there of moving aside for them.
Yep. And
Gary's going to do the same.
Yeah, smart driving there from Gaz.
But these two have really... Well, the front 3 have really just blitzed everyone and pulled away. Foster in 4th is 37 seconds behind the lead.
And you're right, what you were saying before, Matty's, he's definitely having a quiet old race by himself out there. So
for Neil, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just on his own running laps.
Yeah. Foster's in the pits again.
Yeah.
Oh, is that damage on the left front?
Oh, yeah, the last corner he's gone off.
Let's have a look and see.
How's that for the commentator's curse there? Who's the blame for that one? No. Edward will be... He's really hit that left front. That thing's killed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he will be filthy of himself.
Yep.
Would not want to be in the Atari team chat right now.
Oh, just trying to work out what happened. He's just come around the corner there.
I think he's just touched the grass on entry, and that's just like sent him off under brakes. Again, there's just no room for error. He's just a little bit too hot. Yeah.
Yep, a little bit too hot.
But that's just what I'm saying. With this car, when you just get faster and faster and faster, it's not like the old car where you sort of just try and get into a rhythm and nurse the car and look after it. Now you're just trying to go faster every lap. You're just trying to squeak out a bit more of the car every time you go into the corner. Makes it so easy to make a mistake. And Edward, I don't think I've ever seen Edward make a mistake on a road course and
No.
ANZCAR Cup. So I know the first year I joined, if I can say yes, so that's a very rare mistake to see there.
It is indeed. That left front wheel looks like it is wobbling a bit there, so he might have damaged the toe link on it.
Yeah, that or steering arms. He'd be pretty much done, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Again, just a tiny little mistake, and you just give up a top 5. Meanwhile, at the front here, we've got they're still very close, and they've got more lap traffic. As Bazanil does a good job there, getting out of the way at the last second. But he's got another battle position. He's got Tristan and Tom.
Tom, yeah.
These guys will be sick of each other after this race. Suspend the entire thing, bat them back and forth with each other. And a good fun race between them. There's a little bit of bumping here and there, but nothing untoward. It's been great to watch. It's
been really a lesson in how to drive these things on a circuit. So, I mean, it's great seeing the way they handle these cars.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, they have a lot of experience in the V8, and that I say a lot of that translates over a lot, even more so to this car compared to prior years. So, as Tom's got out of the way a little bit too much there.
Good. Yeah, he saved it.
Yep, he's all good. No damage done. Straight out into another paddle pack. Oh, see, old Stephen Williams' car's now smoking. So I'm not sure if he's headed back out again or if that thing's just blowing up in pit lane.
I'd say it's probably blowing up in pit lane.
Yeah, it's a bit weird when it does that, doesn't it? Overheated there. It's been sitting there for too long.
Yeah, sitting idling. It's interesting to see the with these different camera shots that we're getting the difference in elevation of the track. Lots of up and downs all over it.
Exactly, that's another one of the cool things I like about the track. It's almost every corner there's basically no corner that's just level. You either up or down every single corner.
Oh, what do we got there? Oh, here we go.
Just run wide there. Dicey took the very wide. He was right out over that ripple strip on the approach.
Still on for the lead then.
Still battling hard.
Well, the last lap, Andrew did a 2:09.1, and Hobson did a 2:08.9. So things have changed around a little bit with Dyson, I should say, slowing down a fraction.
Just see the car kick out a little bit sideways there.
Not to take off the lead, there has been another little incident. Gary Wellman and Kobe Jordan have both gone off in sympathy just at the Hurry Downs.
There's the new damage model in full effect. Look at Gary's car there.
Yeah, and Kobe's is not much better, so I think both of those guys will be done as well. So the attrition rate continues here. There's not going to be any left standing.
They should stick to night racing.
Exactly.
Gary's done well to get it this far back around.
Let's see if we can find the incident in question that happened there.
Yeah, they were fighting real hard there, and they've just done the same thing sort of like that Stephen Williams did earlier in turn 1. They just sort of outbraked themselves, and they've just both just fired off into the wall.
There we are here. Right in front of third place Neil. Oh, Kobe got the grass. And... Oh, yeah, so they just both did it to themselves.
Mm.
It's a pretty big hit. We'll jump back up to the front here because we've got, what, 3 laps to go.
Yeah, that was about the last battle left. So I think it's between Gaz. Now that's over. It's really just the 2 leaders here. It's going to be a battle for who's going to get this win.
Yeah, just look at the intervals between the cars. You're right. The only other battle that's within a second is Tom Pritchard and 14th behind Aidan Schultz and 15th.
Yeah, so we'll probably just focus on these 2 leaders to the checker here. These guys have barely been more than a second between each other all race long. Pitted on the same lap, so been inseparable.
Oh, Barry Neal's in the fence.
These boys are pushing hard. Last lap through there, Hobbo, he had 4 wheels in the dirt, coming over that little rise, using all the track and more here.
Yeah, I just wonder if he might be struggling a little bit with his tyres because he is running a lot more different line than Hobson.
Yeah, I think it'd be partly he'll be just driving the wheels off it right now, probably pushing a little bit too hard, but you just try and do the same thing. You try and push Dyson into a mistake. Still in the 8s, so obviously still got a lot of speed in the car.
You see there on that turn there, both of them using the same line where before Hobson was to the inside on the previous laps.
Have noticed a lot of drivers taking that corner a bit wider. I think maybe there's been a change to the track limits, and that's that might be it.
I'd say so.
That was just a touch on the grass. We'll just jump back and have a little look at that. There it is. So
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had to make mistakes eventually. I guess these guys have been driving so hard.
just got a little bit wide and a little bit on the grass there, or dirt. Good recovery. But that might be it. There might be a that gap's blown out to about a second now, and so with less than 2 laps to go, and given how close these guys are,
He's had another wiggle there.
Yeah, he's pushing pretty hard.
Yeah. He's under the white flag here. Dyson's just got to keep it on the black stuff here, and he should get this win. Hobbo not too far behind. These boys have been racing real hard all night long. Meanwhile, in the complete opposite world, Pearson has been driving all by himself all night long, but he should still get a podium for his efforts.
It's a shame that's happened because I think this would have been the win it or bin it type lap.
Yeah, true. It might have been a bit of a bump or whatnot.
Maybe Pearson might have ended up Bradburying it. The two leaders take themselves out, and poor old Neil in the middle of nowhere just strolls through for the win.
Do you have one battle on track still going? I see Josh Micklemore was caught up the header shot and he's sort of all over the back of him here. They've got one lap to go, just coming to the flag. So we'll keep an eye on that as we watch leaders on this final lap.
Yeah, that gap has settled in pretty good now. About 1.2 seconds for the front. There's Micklemore with header shot. Oh, Josh is certainly giving it everything. And this is it. This is Dyson coming over to grab the checkered flag.
Right.
Yep. Well done to Daiso for that win, and well done to Hobbo for doing a great battle between those two. It was really fun to watch. Great racing, both of them.
That was a lesson in how to drive the next gen car on a road circuit. Now all we've got to do is get them to give us their secrets.
Meanwhile, I'm going to keep a while on Joshy's here, see if we can apply a blowtorch to Hillshire.
Yeah, this is the only real sort of battle going on.
A little bit of a lap traffic ahead of them, whether that's going to play a role. A very opportune part. Oh, Josh runs wide, he's pushing hard. Is he going to send it down here? Come on, Joshy. Oh, here he goes.
He's running the block. It's dangerous.
Oh, he's giving
a bump.
If you're gonna block, he's gonna give you a nudge.
Oh, the boys are into it. This is fun. Oh, they were both well past the light. Great mate there. Josh doing the same thing. He locks it up. He's going to hold on. Well done, Daniel. That was fun to watch that last lap.
It was good fun. It's the danger if you're going to throw a block, then on this, this oval sort of racing.
Yep.
Yeah. Joshy's.
Oh.
We'll cut away from that.
Oh, it was a good fun race, that.
Because it's such a long lap, I think, whereas Andrew, he's still a way away from getting to the victory chicken line and doing a burnout. So let's quickly run through the results.
So, of course, we've got the winner, Andrew Dyston. Second, Brenton Hobbs. Neil Pearson, third. Darren Lobb, fourth. Tom Freer, fifth. It's number six. Sixth home, Daniel Hirschshy. Josh Micklemore, seventh. Luke Trahere in eighth. Ninth, Jason Martin. And 10th, Matthew Raymond.
And 11th is Tristan Koch. 12th is Aidan Schultz. Tom Pritchard in 13th. Barry Neal 14th. Michael Skellock home in 15th. Miserable night for Skellock, I'm sure. Jamie Namkurvis in 16th. Paul Jackson 17th. Followed by Scott Griffith and Gary Wellman and Edward Foster in 20th.
Norman Clark, 21st. 22nd, Ruben Phelps. Kobe Jordan, 23rd. 24th, Nobby Tompkins. 25th, Stevie Williams. 26th, your man, Hamish Mirko. 27th, Raymond. And I missed those last two, but
That's
they
all right.
pulled out.
I thought we'd show the burnout, so.
Yep. Well, that was a certainly an entertaining race between those leaders, between Daiso and Hobson. Again, there's no separation for the championship, Matty.
No. Well, it's well, the points wise, I think it was 20 points between them at the start of this race, so it'll kind of depend on who led the most laps, really. I think Andrew might be able to grab 1 or 2 points back on Hobson, but yeah, for the regular championship, it's still neck and neck between them. Of course, that's
Yeah,
before any drop rounds are applied in the first 26.
yep. Unfortunate for your man Hamish. Finished way back down there in 26th.
Yeah, there was quite a few tales of woe tonight, wasn't there? It was, they were saying it was going to be easy to make a mistake, and a lot of people made mistakes, and a lot of people with very damaged cars at the end of it. But 10 cars finished on the lead lap. That's still a pretty good result considering the pace of those front two.
Yeah, with a pace like that, you'd think you'd only end up with a few cars. I guess we're lucky it wasn't at the Glen. Otherwise, it would have been in real trouble.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out not too far away. I imagine the Glen won't be too far down the road.
I'm just pulling up the calendar to see when we do go to the Glen. 11th of August, we're at Watkins Glen, so still a fair way away. But it would be interesting to see what happens there.
I see the boys are filtering into the green room. Probably start. We could pull up old Nearly.
Good evening, Mr. Pearson. How are you, mate? Nice lonely race there for you.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, it was good. No dramas, which is the main thing.
Yeah, that was good. How'd you end up with your tyres? Did you find much wear or?
I think my left front had about 70%. I locked it up a few times. I was pushing hard towards the end just to see what I could do. And yeah, so other than that, I think the other 3 were like 87. So there was no wear.
Yeah, I don't. Hamish touched on it earlier. I don't know what they've done with this latest update, but it just doesn't seem to be wearing tyres at most tracks now.
On the oval side, it's all right. Like Nashville, we had some pretty high wear because the setup was so tight. I think on my first stop I was down at 4%, but on this one, yeah, it's the road courses. They've just done something, and it's a bit frustrating because it's a heavy car. There's no way you're able to push that hard and pretty much drive the car like a GT3 car, and just come away with no tire. The tires like they are. It's a bit frustrating and not really fun, to be honest.
Yeah, we commented on Dyso and Hobson. They ran 30 laps of qualifying time, and they did it on one set of tyres.
Yeah. I mean, Sonoma was exactly the same. No one changed. And I actually did a different league race, but it was 110 laps around Sonoma. And the guy who won didn't change his tires at all. I changed them around lap 30. Yeah, it's a joke. And I changed them around lap 30, and we had a restart on a caution. And I lost 15 seconds to those guys who hadn't changed. And I think they actually had an advantage after the last caution when I could match their time. But I could.
Yeah.
They were just eking away a little bit. So
That's broken.
it's frustrating because I was checking out the forums. It is so broken, and in the forums, they're all patting themselves on their back, saying, all the staff going, "Oh, we've done a really good job with this tire," and it's a joke.
Oh, I look forward to them not pitting this weekend when we watch the real life race. Eh?
Well, I mean, even Sonoma. I mean, like we're doing 13 ones in this 100% race with open sets. And I think in the race, the real life race, they were doing 16s, dropping down to 19 towards the end of a stint. So
Yeah, something definitely not right there.
I'm not a fan. It feels like they've just thrown a GT3 tire onto it and just gone, yeah, that'll do.
Well, mate, next week we're back to the ovals at Atlanta. Looking forward to Atlanta.
Yeah, I love Atlanta. It's one of my favorite ovals. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, Hamish, anything you'd like to add before we give Neil a chance to thank his sponsors and supporters?
Not really. I think Neil had probably the loneliest race tonight, so did a few
Oh.
fast laps at the end there just to see if he can do some PBs. But yeah, it's
Well, I
weird
think
to watch, eh? Yeah.
if Ed hadn't have gotten me on the start, I would have just like rolled around, just losing time to those two up front, and it would have been a bit, eh. At least I got one pass done. So
I was
Yeah,
actually waiting for you to stop and get a cup of tea of someone.
I should have. That would have been nice.
All right, mate. Before we let you go, shout out to your sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, as always. ANZCAR for the series, simrigs.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoists, Max Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, NP Designs, and just my teammates for being awesome. And congrats to Daiso on the win.
All right, mate. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next week at Atlanta.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thanks very much, mate.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get up second place getter, Mr. Brendan Hobson. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Mate, I've got to ask, do you need some fresh clothes after that qualifying race?
Yeah, that was hot lap after hot lap, that one, wasn't it? It was, yeah, that was ridgy-didge. We were going at it as hard as we could from go to woe, that one. That was hard work.
Yeah, mate, it was flat out all the way. And realistically, like your best times were 2:08, 0.6. So, I mean, so that's definitely qualifying times right for 30 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quicker than qualifying because the tyres just sort of keep getting better and better. And yeah, I don't think there was a lap out there where I was taking it easy. I was as hard as I could go every single lap of the race. I think Daiso was probably the same. You'll probably agree. We're very evenly matched tonight. It was a good race.
Well, the only thing that really separated you were your pit. You were stationary for, I think it was 4.5, and Daiso was just under 4, or just on the 4 seconds.
Yeah, I overfueled it. Just a mistake on my part, and I gave him the track position, and that's all he needed. So, although that was a good race, and I'm obviously happy with second, I'm a little disappointed with that because I think if I could have come back out of the pits in front of him, which I should have, it might have been a different story. Would have been a good race either way, but because of how close we were for pace, it was always going to be really hard to make a move. Really, I think we probably needed a mistake out of each other to get it done. And credit to Andrew, he didn't make any mistakes when I was behind him, and I didn't really make any when he was behind me either. So, it was a high quality drive, I think, all round from both of us at the front. I feel like it was a really good race by both of us, but yeah, small mistake by me in the pits, and maybe that was all the difference. It might have been all it took, but it was a good race, though. It was fun.
Yeah, it definitely looked fun. I can only recall one slight mistake, and that was from you. That was going towards the end there, where you were going into the carousel, I think it was, and you just got into the dirt a little bit.
That's right. Yeah. I saw. I think it was actually my teammate. I think Scott was off in the dirt, and I just took my eyes off where I was going for a split second and just dropped the right rear into the dirt and spun up the tires. So I caught it, and it was all good. But obviously that took me out of the fight then for the end of the race. There's only a lap and a half to go, I think. But it was disappointing. It didn't come right down to the wire. But even then, I mean, I don't feel like I was in a position I wasn't waiting for the last lap to throw a big move or something like that. It was. I did that once into turn 5 or 4 or whatever that is down at the bottom of the hill there, the left-hander, and that was only semi-intentional, but I almost got it through there that once. But other than that, it wasn't possible to go for the big move. I certainly wasn't waiting till the end to do it. It was, if an opportunity came up at any point, I would have taken it. So, yeah, it was good on the limit all the time. It's rewarding when you can rip around for 30 laps and really not make any big mistakes and know that you've gone as fast as you could for every lap. It's good.
Yeah, we got a little bit excited up here in the booth. A couple of times you gave each other the sliders a tap. We were thinking that maybe you might have taken the big dive somewhere on that last 2 laps to get past.
Yeah, I mean, if I got a run, I would have gone for it. If I had been even within a couple of tenths into a braking zone, I probably would have sort of shoved it down there and shown the nose, or at least given it a go. But I was, we were both so committed under brakes everywhere, every lap, that it's not like you could just go, I'll go a little deeper under brakes here and make a move. Like we was as hard as we could go, both of us, all the time. So it was always going to be hard to do that. You really, like I said, you really needed a bit of an error, and it's just about putting pressure on and hoping you can force an error out of the guy in front. But I mean, Daiso's pretty experienced at this stuff. He knows what he's doing, and that's always going to be a tough prospect. But if an opportunity came up, I absolutely would have had a crack. But yeah, it was always going to be tough.
Yeah. Neil Pearson mentioned the tyre wear, that there doesn't seem to be anything at the moment on these road courses. How do you find that? Were you okay for tyres, or well, obviously you must have been because you didn't change in your pit stop.
No, yeah, the tyres are weird on this thing at the minute. They just seem to keep getting better and better and better. Like at Sonoma a couple of weeks ago, I set the fastest lap on the last lap, and I think you could have made a case for doing a similar thing here tonight if you were, you hooked up a good lap on the last one. I think the tyres would have been capable of being as good as they were all race. So it doesn't seem like tyre wear really is a thing in these cars at the minute. Which, I mean, it's fun to drive because you're going as hard as you can every single lap. And that that puts on good racing sometimes. You saw that tonight, but it does take out a huge element of the racing. And for me, stock car racing in particular, tyre wear is a big thing. I mean, do you look after your tyres? Do you go for a big overcut or undercut with the pit stops, all that sort of stuff? Like, it takes all that away, which is a shame. I think that's a big part of this sport, and particularly stock car racing on road courses. So to have that not be a thing is a bit disappointing. But I mean, for a change, it's cool just to be able to rag it every single lap and go as hard as you can. That's good fun as well. But hopefully, in the long term, iRacing looks at that and makes the tweaks it needs to make to fix it, because I don't think it's quite accurate.
I think they will. They certainly have to. Well, mate, that was a fantastic drive. Hamish, Matt, anything to add?
I was just going to ask Hobbo, because of how the tyres are, like the strategy sort of flipped on its head. There's no undercut or overcut. Well, what was your thoughts about pitting? Like, we saw you fake out. Like, try to do a fake a couple of times. Like, did you think you'd be faster just running by yourself, or was it better to be running, as two cars? What were your thoughts?
I wasn't sure who was quicker out of the two of us. If we started on opposite sides of the track and ran 30 laps, it's hard to say who would be quicker across that. But in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to shake him, just driving together the whole way. So yeah, I sort of tried to fake him into the pits and see what would happen. But if he had to come in, it would have been ripping a good lap and then pitting myself and just see what it did and hope that maybe I could get an advantage out of that. But it's hard. It was hard to say. I mean, you're right. The strategy is completely different. My idea for strategy was just to run as long as I could and keep the car as light on fuel as I could for the whole race. So rather than pitting early and putting more weight back in the car early on, I thought I'd run it dry and then pit at the end of the run and just keep the car as light as possible for optimal pace, because you don't have to worry about the tyres so much. So that was the theory. But obviously, Daiso just covered it. He was always going to, probably. I don't know that either of us would have been able to gap each other, to be honest, if we did separate, but it would have been interesting to see.
It's a really impressive race between the both of you. You guys pretty much never spent more than a second apart. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I think that the biggest gap we had was in the last lap. So it's good race.
Well, mate, we're back to the ovals next week. Atlanta, your thoughts on that?
I'm very hit and miss on the oval stuff. I had the worst race of the season for me last week. Actually blew a right front tire off inside the fuel range. So first time I've had that happen, but obviously a lot to learn still with the oval stuff. We've been to Atlanta already this year, haven't we? So I don't know how much the car's changed since then and if that'll be the same as it was back then, but I did struggle a fair bit getting up to speed when we came to Atlanta last time. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think I got a decent result in that race, but yeah, I'll just be looking to do the same. It's all learning for me. I just keep, every week on the ovals, particularly, just learn a little bit more and put some more stuff in the memory bank, and hopefully when it gets to the business end of the championship, I can apply all that and put in some good results then.
Yeah, definitely. Well, mate, shout out to your sponsors and supporters before we let you go.
Yeah, thanks. Just a shout out to the guys in the team at SSR and the sponsors. Wave Runner Performance Centre, Smith and Sons, and all the other ones on there as well. Thanks to Ed and all the guys involved with running the league. It's not easy running a league, and obviously to you guys in here as well for putting on a broadcast. Appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thanks very much for your time tonight, and congratulations on second. Very, very close to being a win for you, but it wasn't to be. So thanks very much, and we'll see you again next week.
No worries. Looking forward to it. See you guys.
Thanks, mate. Bye. All right, we'll get to our race winner, Mr. Andrew Dyson. Another great win, great battle. Andrew, great win, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
So high pressure race, qualifying laps for 30 laps.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, it was pretty difficult to keep that sort of pace up, but we managed to do it. There's a few little mistakes by both of us, I think, along the way, but yeah, it was pretty well quality the whole way for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We just spoke to him. Really, the difference was, I guess, your pit stop. He said he made a mistake. He overfueled the car a little bit. Obviously, your crew chief was right on the money.
Yeah, his car was stationary a little longer by the looks of things, and that's all the difference it takes, really. So, yeah, I'll tell you, if that didn't happen, it would be very difficult to get past because it was so hard to follow and really hard to make a pass. So, yeah, if that didn't happen, it probably would have just been on its own the rest of the way, I think.
Yeah, we both the guys, Neil and Brenton has spoken about tyre wear. I'll ask you the same question. The tyre wear just isn't here at the moment.
Yeah, not sure what's going on with that. Apparently the devs are in the forums patting their backs and everything, but I've never heard of a race car that doesn't wear its tyres out and only get faster and faster and faster and faster with every stint at the end of the tank. So, but that's the way it is, and that's what we're racing at the moment. So we'll deal with it, and it is a step forward. Like, it's better than what it was probably at Road America, although it's a little strange. But hopefully it's just part of the journey, and they get it better and better as we go on.
A lot of people have said these things like probably we won't get the best car until the end of the year, because I know they're following the NASCAR circuit around and getting data every week from the races. So obviously the car's going to get better towards the end of the year when they get more information. So we should be looking forward to some more real life like racing at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the oval stuff's pretty good at the moment. Obviously the real stuff, like the real Cup Championship, hasn't gone and done too many road courses yet. So I'm tipping iRacing doesn't have a whole lot of data to go off yet, but as that comes in, for sure, I reckon they'll get it better. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Yeah. A couple of love taps between you two. Where do you think he if he was if Brenton was in the lead, where do you think you would have had a dive at him towards the end there if you had to?
Oh man, I don't think I really could have. Like, it's just to try and get close. Like, the closest you could probably ever get was 3/10, and then you'd have to try and pass from 3/10 back. I mean, the only way you'd be passing anyone is relying on a mistake. So it's I can't really say. I can't really pick one spot, man.
Yeah. Well, back to the ovals next week. Atlanta. Your thoughts on Atlanta?
Atlanta again, or have we raced it? Are we going back to Atlanta already?
Yeah, no, we're back there next week.
All right, well, we raced it just last night, so we know which way it goes. Hopefully the lights don't need to come on this time. And that way Jonesy doesn't get an easy W.
Just don't let me organise it.
Anything to add, Hamish, Matt?
Oh, I just got same thing I asked Brenton. Like, because of the way the tyres, weird. Like, what were your thoughts on strategy? Was it because basically I guess you can't undercut anymore because if you pitted, took fuel, the car would be heavier and be slower. So basically, was your thought just to run it as long as you could?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like a GT car. You just got to go as far as you can. because the lighter it is, the faster it is. So yeah, there's no point coming in a lap early and running around with an extra 40 litres for no reason. So yeah, that's basically the way it is at the moment. You're kind of stuck to the one strat.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, mate. But it's cool to see, though. I mean, as you say, it's weird how you got no tyre wear, but it's cool to see you and Hobbo just queue lap for 30 laps straight. You boys are onto it. It's good fun to watch.
Yeah, it's good, man. Hobbo's one of the best guys to racing out there in pretty much anything. It could be the ovals or the road stuff. He's super fair and he's always racing super close and yeah, he's usually up the front all the time, man. So it's good to racing against a guy like that, 100%.
Well, mate, congratulations on the race win. And before we let you go, thanks to your sponsors and supporters, mate.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to all the guys at DPR, Simmings.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoist, BMX Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, MP Designs for helping us get it all done. And thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast and yelling at cars going left and right. And thanks to all the guys at ANZCAR that put on the series all year long for us to go racing and hopefully not running into each other too much.
No worries, mate. Congratulations on the race win, and we'll see you at Atlanta next week.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, mate. Bye. Well, what a race. What a race. What can we say except for tune in next week to see another part of the championship story. So I don't know if we've got an update on the championship points, have we, Matt?
We had the points for leading into tonight, but no, there won't be, not including the results of tonight.
All right, no worries. Well, thank you, Matt, for pushing the buttons again. And a big thanks to Mr. Gallagher for joining in tonight. And hopefully we can see you back here again soon.
My pleasure. That was one of the most enjoyable road course races I think I've seen in Overcast. There was just so much going on all the time. Just the way it says the tyre's really weird, but in some ways it sort of makes the racing fun because you have people just pushing all the time. They make mistakes. Yeah, that was really fun race to call.
Yeah, it definitely was, and no matter where you were, there was battles right throughout until towards the end there, the last quarter of the race, where a few guys made a few mistakes and found themselves in pit lane or with damaged cars. But yeah, definitely one of the most enjoyable races I've seen.
Yeah, that top two battle was pretty intense. It was great to watch. You can spend 30 laps just watching those two battle each other and work out how they're trying to get past each other.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's it for tonight. Monday night, we're back in the trucks. Wednesday night, we're back into the Xfinity cars, which I believe you're still leading the championship there, Mr. Gallagher.
Jonesy's putting up a good fight, and since he got a win, you better believe he's going to be on it. And he had good speed on Wednesday as well in Atlanta. He was definitely faster than me, so he's gonna make me work for it this time. So that's cool.
That's actually good. I think all three championships are fairly close in the points. So it's definitely a tough year this year for ANZCAR if you're running in the championships.
Yeah, I think Eddie's got a nice little lead in the trucks, so I'm sure he's quite happy about that. Halfway through this second season. But yeah, there's a lot of got a few short tracks coming up, so anything can happen in that second half of the season. But yeah, it's been real fun all year so far in ANZCAR. So long may it continue.
Yep, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have the voice of NASCAR back with us soon. He jumped in last night, but he's still waiting on some information from his doctors. So hopefully he'll be back in, and hopefully I'm doing a good enough job for you. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you come back next week for the Atlanta. And thank you. That's all I can say. And have a good night and stay safe. And we'll see you next week.